What makes this version of Alice in Wonderland so compelling is its layered storytelling. On the surface, it's a fantastical adventure through a surreal world filled with quirky characters and breathtaking visuals. But beneath that, it's a deeply personal tale about a young woman finding her voice and choosing her own path. Alice's journey mirrors the struggles many face when stepping into adulthood, learning to balance expectations, confront fears, and ultimately, trust oneself. The world of Wonderland is brought to life with stunning visual effects that blend live action and CGI seamlessly. Every detail, from the twisted trees of Tulgey Wood to the grandiosity of the Red Queen's castle, is meticulously crafted to immerse viewers in this magical realm. The use of color plays a significant role, with the muted tones of Alice's real-world life contrasting sharply with the vibrant hues of Wonderland. This visual dichotomy underscores the theme of escaping the mundane to embrace the extraordinary. The performances of the cast elevate the story to new heights. Mia Wasikowska's Alice is a perfect blend of vulnerability and strength, making her transformation into a hero feel both authentic and inspiring. Johnny Depp's Mad Hatter steals every scene he's in, his portrayal infused with both whimsy and an unexpected depth of emotion. Helena Bonham Carter's Red Queen is hilariously menacing, her over-the-top demeanor balanced by moments of genuine pathos. And Hathaway's White Queen, ethereal and serene, adds a touch of grace and balance to the chaotic world of Wonderland. The film's music, composed by Danny Elfman, is another highlight. His score captures the essence of Wonderland perfectly, weaving together whimsical, haunting, and heroic themes that enhance the emotional impact of every scene. From the eerie melody that accompanies Alice's descent into the rabbit hole to the triumphant notes of her battle with the Jabberwocky, the music is an integral part of the storytelling. As Alice emerges victorious, having defeated the Jabberwocky and restored balance to Wonderland, her transformation is complete. She returns to the real world with a newfound sense of purpose, rejecting societal norms to forge her own path. It's a satisfying conclusion to a story that celebrates individuality, courage, and the power of imagination. Alice in Wonderland, 2010, is more than just a movie. It's a journey into a world where the impossible becomes possible and where one young woman learns to embrace her destiny. It's a reminder that sometimes, stepping out of the ordinary and into the unknown is the only way to truly find oneself. The story begins with Alice Kingsley, a curious and independent 19-year-old, feeling out of place at a garden party in Victorian England. The event, hosted by her late father's business partner, is meant to be a grand occasion, but for Alice, it's suffocating. Her strict mother expects her to conform, while her potential suitor, Hamish Ascot, is pompous and uninspiring. Alice's restlessness is palpable as she navigates the rigid expectations of the gathering. As the day unfolds, Alice is drawn away from the crowd by a strange vision, a white rabbit in a waistcoat and carrying a pocket watch. The sight is so peculiar that she can't help but follow it, slipping unnoticed into the woods. The rabbit seems to beckon her, leading her further from the familiar. Soon, she comes across an unassuming rabbit hole. Before she knows it, curiosity overtakes her, and she falls. The descent is surreal, unlike anything Alice has ever experienced. She tumbles through a dreamlike void, passing floating teacups, books, and peculiar objects. The journey feels endless until she lands, surprisingly softly, in a peculiar room filled with doors of various sizes. In the center is a small glass table with a key and a mysterious vial labeled "Drink Me." The first of many riddles in this world presents itself. To reach the door that matches the key, she must shrink herself. Alice sips the contents of the vial and finds herself rapidly shrinking to the perfect size. But another complication arises. She's left the key on the table, now out of her reach. This sets off a series of mishaps as Alice navigates her first challenge, eventually finding a way to shrink, grow, and reach the correct door. On the other side lies the enchanting, albeit strange, realm of Wonderland. The first glimpse of Wonderland is a mix of wonder and unease. The landscape is vibrant yet oddly distorted, as if it belongs to another reality. Alice encounters some of the realm's eccentric inhabitants, including the nervous white rabbit, the kind-hearted Dormouse, and the jittery Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Their conversations are cryptic, filled with references to Alice being the wrong Alice, as though she's expected to be someone else. It's clear she has visited this place before, though she can't recall when or why. As Alice ventures further, the mood shifts. The lush, whimsical surroundings give way to ominous woods and strange creatures. The group is pursued by the Bandersnatch, a fearsome beast under the command of the tyrannical Red Queen. In a dramatic chase, Alice barely escapes with the help of the Dormouse, who bravely fends off the creature. Seeking answers, Alice is led to the blue caterpillar, Absalom, a sage-like figure who resides on a mushroom. His cryptic words add to the mystery. Alice is destined to slay the Jabberwocky, the Red Queen's most fearsome creature, and restore peace to Underland. However, Alice insists they have the wrong person. She's no warrior, and the prophecy seems like a mistake. Despite her protests, the caterpillar remains unconvinced, planting seeds of doubt and curiosity in Alice's mind. As Alice grapples with her identity, Underland's political landscape comes into focus. The Red Queen rules with cruelty, her grotesquely inflated ego symbolized by her oversized head. Her court is a parade of fear and absurdity, where loyalty is demanded and defiance is punished. Opposing her is her sister, the gentle White Queen, who resides in exile. The stark contrast between the sisters mirrors the internal conflict Alice faces, between conformity and rebellion, fear and courage. The Mad Hatter's entrance adds another layer of intrigue. Residing in the heart of Underland, he is both a survivor and a symbol of the land's fractured state. His tea party, a chaotic mix of whimsy and melancholy, reveals his deep connection to the realm. He recognizes Alice and insists she's the one who will save them all. The Hatter's belief in her is touching but also unnerving, as Alice continues to doubt her role in this unfolding drama. Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie Alice in Wonderland, 2010, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like, it really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. Once upon a time, nestled between the realms of reality and fantasy, there was a tale that enchanted audiences worldwide. That tale was Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton's visually dazzling and whimsical take on Lewis Carroll's classic. Released in 2010, this adaptation brought a rich, imaginative twist to the beloved story, complete with Burton's signature Gothic flair. It was a magical journey into a world filled with quirky characters, strange creatures, and a storyline that reimagined the familiar tale with a darker, more adventurous spin. At its heart, Alice in Wonderland 2010 isn't just a simple retelling of the 19th century classic. It's an expansion, a sequel of sorts, imagining what happens when Alice, now 19 years old, returns to Wonderland. The movie blended elements of Carroll's original works, Alice's adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking-Glass, with a new narrative that positioned Alice as a reluctant hero, destined to save the fantastical land from tyranny. Directed by the visionary Tim Burton and featuring a star-studded cast, including Mia Wasikowska, Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, and Anne Hathaway, this film was both a visual feast and a compelling story of self-discovery and courage. The film's release was highly anticipated, with fans eager to see how Burton would bring his eccentric creativity to one of the most iconic fantasy stories of all time. And he did not disappoint. The combination of live action, motion capture, and CGI created a Wonderland like never before. Vivid, dreamlike, and just the right amount of unsettling. Overview of the movie. In this version of Alice in Wonderland, we meet Alice Kingsley, a spirited young woman who's struggling to find her place in a world that demands conformity. She's intelligent, imaginative, and defiant, traits that make her an outlier in Victorian England's rigid society. When Alice is pressured into accepting a marriage proposal she doesn't want, she follows a familiar white rabbit in a waistcoat, tumbling down a rabbit hole into a world that feels both strange and oddly familiar. What sets this movie apart is its take on Wonderland, now referred to as Underland. It's no longer the whimsical playground of Alice's childhood memories but a place shrouded in darkness, ruled by the tyrannical Red Queen. The once vibrant land is now a shadow of its former self, and its eccentric inhabitants are in desperate need of a savior. Alice must navigate this world of peculiar characters, rediscover her own strength, and decide whether she's willing to embrace her destiny as the champion who will slay the Jabberwocky and restore balance to Underland. The film is a dazzling blend of adventure, fantasy, and self-discovery. It introduces us to a cast of unforgettable characters, each with their quirks, complexities, and allegiances. From the Mad Hatter, played with eccentric brilliance by Johnny Depp, to Helena Bonham Carter's hilariously menacing Red Queen, every character brings something unique to the story. And while the film is filled with humor and charm, it also explores deeper themes of identity, courage, and the power of choice. Alice in Wonderland, 2010, opens a portal into a whimsical world where imagination runs wild and reality fades away. This version reimagines Lewis Carroll's classic tale with a dark, fantastical twist, helmed by visionary director Tim Burton. It is more than just a retelling. It's a fresh, adventurous continuation of Alice's story. The narrative follows a 19-year-old Alice, a young woman caught between societal expectations and her yearning for individuality. Her journey back to the mystical land she once knew as a child, Underland, becomes a path of rediscovery, growth, and bravery. The film's premise grabs you instantly. Alice, unsure of her place in the rigid Victorian society she inhabits, is faced with a marriage proposal she doesn't want. As she hesitates to answer, she spots a peculiar white rabbit in a waistcoat scurrying through the garden. Drawn by curiosity, she follows him, plunging into a rabbit hole that leads to a world that feels simultaneously strange and familiar. Underland, a place she remembers from her dreams, is in peril. Its inhabitants believe Alice is the prophesied savior who will defeat the Red Queen's fearsome Jabberwocky and restore peace to the land. Alice's return to Underland sets the stage for an unforgettable adventure. From the moment she steps into this vibrant yet eerie realm, she encounters a host of peculiar characters. There's the Cheshire Cat, whose sly grin and enigmatic advice add a touch of mystique. The Mad Hatter, a mix of eccentricity and heart, becomes Alice's closest ally, his bond with her laced with both humor and profound loyalty. The Red Queen, with her comically outsized head and penchant for shouting, rules with an iron fist, while her sister, the gentle White Queen, provides a glimmer of hope and harmony. The plot unfurls with a blend of wonder, danger, and self-discovery. Alice, reluctant to accept the role thrust upon her, insists she isn't the Alice they're seeking. Her journey becomes as much about proving herself to Underland's inhabitants as it is about rediscovering her own courage and identity. Along the way, she faces challenges that push her out of her comfort zone, from escaping the fearsome Bandersnatch to infiltrating the Red Queen's castle. Each step brings her closer to embracing her destiny as the champion who will stand against the Jabberwocky. The story is packed with twists and surprises. The Mad Hatter's tragic backstory adds depth to his eccentricity, showing a character driven not just by madness but also by hope and resilience. The Red Queen, though tyrannical, is portrayed with a touch of vulnerability, her insecurities about her appearance driving much of her cruelty. Alice herself undergoes a profound transformation, growing from a hesitant girl into a determined warrior who confronts the Jabberwocky in a climactic battle that is as thrilling as it is symbolic. Alice's infiltration of the Red Queen's castle marks a shift in her journey, one fraught with danger and discovery. With the help of her allies, including the clever Dormouse and the mischievous Cheshire Cat, Alice moves through the intimidating fortress. The Red Queen's domain is a grotesque reflection of her ego, with absurdly large furnishings and a court filled with subjects who fawn over her out of fear. Each step Alice takes toward the castle's heart brings her closer to her destiny, though doubt continues to shadow her. The mission to retrieve the Vorpal sword is fraught with challenges. Hidden in the Red Queen's armory and guarded by the ferocious Bandersnatch, the sword represents more than a weapon. It's a symbol of Alice's potential. The confrontation with the Bandersnatch is intense, yet Alice displays unexpected courage, choosing to approach the beast with empathy rather than violence. By removing a painful thorn from its paw, she earns the creature's trust and secures the sword. This moment is pivotal, as it hints at Alice's growing strength and ability to forge her own path. With the Vorpal sword in hand, Alice escapes the castle, aided by the Cheshire Cat's clever diversions. The Red Queen's fury at the theft is explosive, but her paranoia and insecurity prevent her from taking effective action. Meanwhile, Alice's bond with her allies deepens as they prepare for the final confrontation. The Mad Hatter, in particular, becomes a source of comfort and inspiration, his unwavering belief in Alice's destiny acting as a counterbalance to her lingering doubts. As the day of Fabius Day, the prophesied moment of battle, approaches, the tension in Wonderland reaches a boiling point. Alice finds herself at the White Queen's sanctuary, a place of peace and hope amidst the chaos. The White Queen's calm demeanor and quiet confidence in Alice are both reassuring and unnerving. Unlike her sister, the White Queen does not demand or coerce. She simply believes in Alice's ability to choose her path. This support begins to shift Alice's perspective, though the weight of the prophecy still feels overwhelming. The final battle between the forces of the Red Queen and the White Queen is staged on a sprawling chessboard-like battlefield, an apt setting for the intricate maneuvers and strategic plays that unfold. The Red Queen's army, led by the fearsome Jabberwocky, exudes intimidation, while the White Queen's forces embody resilience and unity. Alice's arrival on the battlefield, clad in armor and wielding the Vorpal sword, is a moment of transformation. Though she still doubts her role as a hero, the sight of her allies rallying around her ignites a spark of determination. The battle is a spectacle of chaos and courage, with each character playing a critical role. The Mad Hatter leads a daring charge, using his agility and wit to outsmart the Red Queen's soldiers. The Dormouse displays unexpected ferocity, while Tweedledee and Tweedledum bring a mix of humor and strength to the fray. Amidst the clash, Alice faces the Jabberwocky, her ultimate test. The creature is as terrifying as the legends suggest, its presence a manifestation of Alice's fears and self-doubt. The fight between Alice and the Jabberwocky is a culmination of her journey, a physical and emotional battle that mirrors her internal struggles. The choreography of their clash is both elegant and intense, with each swing of the Vorpal sword carrying the weight of Alice's transformation. In a stunning moment of clarity, Alice recognizes that her strength doesn't come from fulfilling a prophecy but from her choices, her courage, and her belief in herself. With this realization, she delivers the decisive blow, defeating the Jabberwocky and shattering the Red Queen's power. The aftermath of the battle is both triumphant and bittersweet. The Red Queen is stripped of her crown, her reign of terror brought to an end. She and her sycophantic aide, the Knave of Hearts, are banished to the Outlands, a fitting punishment for their cruelty. The White Queen ascends to her rightful place as the ruler of Wonderland, bringing hope and harmony to the land. The celebration that follows is filled with joy and relief, but for Alice, it's a moment of introspection. With her mission complete, Alice is faced with a choice: remain in Wonderland or return to her own world. The friends she has made, from the Mad Hatter to the Cheshire Cat, urge her to stay, but Alice knows that her journey is far from over. Her time in Wonderland has taught her invaluable lessons about bravery, self-discovery, and the importance of following her own path. Armed with this newfound confidence, she bids farewell to her allies and steps back through the portal to her world. Alice's return to Victorian England is marked by a striking change in her demeanor. No longer the timid young woman burdened by societal expectations, she confronts her suitor, Hamish, and firmly rejects his proposal. She takes charge of her own destiny, expressing her desire to explore the world and chart her own course. The once stifling garden party becomes a stage for Alice's transformation, as she gracefully but resolutely challenges the norms that once confined her. The film concludes with Alice embarking on a new adventure, joining a trade expedition that promises excitement and discovery. Her departure is symbolic, a final affirmation of her growth and her commitment to living life on her own terms. As the ship sets sail, Alice looks ahead with a mixture of anticipation and confidence, her journey in Wonderland serving as a catalyst for her transformation. The story of Alice in Wonderland is not just about a fantastical adventure in a whimsical realm. It's a tale of empowerment and self-discovery. Alice's experiences in Wonderland mirror the challenges and triumphs we all face as we navigate the complexities of life. Her journey resonates deeply, reminding us that true courage comes from embracing who we are and daring to defy the expectations that seek to define us. The characters of Alice in Wonderland, 2010, bring Tim Burton's whimsical vision of Lewis Carroll's classic tale to life, each contributing uniquely to the story's rich tapestry. Their quirks, conflicts, and personalities are not just reflections of Wonderland's fantastical nature, but also serve as mirrors to Alice's own journey of self-discovery and transformation. Alice Kingsley, portrayed with a delicate balance of vulnerability and strength by Wasikowska, is the beating heart of the story. At the film's start, Alice is a young woman torn between societal expectations and her unyielding curiosity about the world. Her character arc is profound. She evolves from someone unsure of her own identity to a figure of courage and self-assurance. Alice's interactions with other characters, both allies and adversaries, serve as catalysts for her growth. Her initial reluctance to accept her role in Wonderland's prophecy reflects her internal struggles, but as the story unfolds, her resolve strengthens, and she embraces her destiny, not because it is foretold but because she chooses it. Every choice Alice makes, from helping the Bandersnatch to wielding the Vorpal sword, underscores her emerging independence and willingness to take risks. The Mad Hatter, brought to life by Johnny Depp, is one of the most compelling figures in Wonderland. His vibrant personality, characterized by abrupt shifts between whimsy and melancholy, is a perfect foil to Alice's initially subdued demeanor. The Hatter's eccentricity masks a deep sense of loyalty and bravery, qualities that become evident as he fights for the White Queen's cause. His relationship with Alice is layered. He sees her not just as a friend but as a beacon of hope for a world overshadowed by the Red Queen's tyranny. The Mad Hatter's tragic backstory, hinted at through subtle dialogue and his fleeting moments of despair, adds depth to his character, making him more than just comic relief. He represents the idea that even the most fractured individuals can rise to greatness when the cause is just. The Red Queen, Irisbeth, is a character who commands attention and fear in equal measure. Helena Bonham Carter's portrayal of the volatile ruler is a masterclass in blending absurdity with menace. Irisbeth's oversized head is both a physical exaggeration and a metaphor for her inflated ego and fragile self-esteem. Her tyrannical rule, filled with arbitrary decrees and a penchant for shouting off with their heads, hides a deep-seated insecurity rooted in her need for validation. The Red Queen's relationship with her subjects is one of manipulation and fear, contrasting sharply with the genuine loyalty inspired by the White Queen. Irisbeth's obsession with power and her desperation to maintain control make her a cautionary figure, a reminder of how unchecked insecurity and jealousy can lead to one's downfall. In stark contrast to her sister, the White Queen, Marana, exudes an aura of serenity and grace. And Hathaway imbues the character with a whimsical charm that belies her strength and determination. While she avoids overt displays of aggression, the White Queen's quiet confidence and strategic mind make her a formidable leader. Her ability to inspire loyalty without resorting to fear speaks volumes about her character's moral compass. Marana serves as a guide for Alice, providing support without imposing her will. Her restraint and wisdom highlight the film's theme of choice, as she allows Alice to make her own decisions, trusting in her potential. Supporting characters like the Cheshire Cat, Dormouse, and Tweedledee and Tweedledum add layers of complexity and humor to the story. The Cheshire Cat, voiced with silky mischief by Stephen Fry, is an enigma, flitting between ally and trickster. His ability to appear and disappear at will makes him a literal and metaphorical representation of unpredictability in Alice's journey. Yet, beneath his playful exterior lies a sharp mind and a willingness to assist when it truly matters, as seen in his role during Alice's escape from the Red Queen's castle. The Dormouse, a feisty and determined character voiced by Barbara Windsor, defies expectations with her courage and resourcefulness. Her small stature and soft voice contrast sharply with her fierce loyalty and readiness to face danger head-on. Meanwhile, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, played by Matt Lucas, provide comic relief through their bickering and bumbling nature. Despite their lack of coordination, their hearts are in the right place, and their presence adds warmth and humor to the narrative. The film's antagonists are not limited to the Red Queen. The Knave of Hearts, Stane, is a sinister and manipulative figure whose loyalty to Irisbeth stems more from self-interest than genuine allegiance. Crispin Glover portrays the character with a menacing elegance, making him a chilling counterpart to the Queen's more flamboyant tyranny. Stane's duplicity and predatory demeanor make him a constant threat, and his eventual downfall is a satisfying moment of justice in the story. The Bandersnatch and Jabberwocky, though non-human characters, play pivotal roles in Alice's journey. The Bandersnatch's transformation from a fearsome adversary to a loyal ally symbolizes the power of empathy and understanding. The Jabberwocky, voiced with chilling gravitas by Christopher Lee, is a towering embodiment of fear and power, representing the ultimate challenge Alice must overcome to embrace her destiny. Each character in Alice in Wonderland serves a purpose beyond their individual arcs. They collectively represent facets of Alice's psyche and the obstacles she must navigate on her path to self-realization. The Red Queen's insecurities mirror Alice's initial self-doubt, while the White Queen's quiet strength reflects the potential Alice must harness. The Mad Hatter's loyalty and resilience inspire Alice to embrace her own courage, and the Cheshire Cat's unpredictability teaches her to adapt and think creatively. The interplay between these characters creates a rich, dynamic world that is as much a part of Alice's growth as her internal journey. Their interactions, conflicts, and alliances drive the narrative forward, each contributing to the film's overarching themes of choice, courage, and self-discovery. Through them, Alice learns that her strength lies not in adhering to the expectations of others but in forging her own path, a lesson that resonates deeply with audiences and cements the character's place in the timeless legacy of Alice in Wonderland. The making of Alice in Wonderland, 2010, was a journey almost as whimsical and surreal as the film itself, filled with fascinating behind-the-scenes moments, unusual occurrences, and a treasure trove of trivia. This Tim Burton-directed reimagining of Lewis Carroll's classic tale is a visually stunning masterpiece, but what went on during production is just as intriguing as what appears on the screen. In addition to Elfman's score, the sound design incorporates a rich array of atmospheric effects that help to immerse the viewer in the world of Wonderland. The sounds of the bustling streets, the creaking of the White Queen's palace, and the unsettling noises from the creatures of the forest all contribute to the sense of a living, breathing world that is both magical and slightly menacing. The sound design is often used to reflect the emotional undertones of the scenes, with subtle shifts in volume and intensity heightening the tension or emphasizing moments of wonder. The sound effects work in tandem with the visual elements to create a fully immersive experience, enhancing the audience's emotional connection to the story. Editing plays another critical role in shaping the viewer's experience of Alice in Wonderland. The film uses quick, fluid cuts to maintain the pace of the narrative and emphasize the surreal, fast-moving nature of the world Alice finds herself in. In particular, the transitions between scenes are often abrupt, reflecting the dreamlike quality of Alice's journey. The editing is used to heighten the sense of unpredictability and chaos in Wonderland, mirroring the disorienting and often nonsensical world that Alice is navigating. One of the most notable editing techniques in the film is the way in which the camera frequently shifts perspectives and points of view. This creates a sense of instability and confusion, drawing the viewer deeper into Alice's subjective experience. The use of Dutch angles, where the camera is tilted to create a skewed perspective, further emphasizes the disorienting and otherworldly nature of Wonderland. The pacing of the film is also influenced by the editing, with fast-paced action sequences juxtaposed with quieter, more introspective moments. This rhythm helps to balance the film's lighter, more whimsical scenes with the darker, more emotional moments, ensuring that the audience remains engaged throughout the film's runtime. The editing also allows for the seamless integration of visual effects with live-action shots, ensuring that the transitions between the two are smooth and natural. The result is a film that feels cohesive and immersive, with the technical aspects of filmmaking never overshadowing the emotional core of the story. One of the most striking elements of the film's cinematic techniques is the use of 3D technology, which was employed to create a more immersive and visually dynamic experience for the viewer. Alice in Wonderland was one of the first major films to be released in 3D after the resurgence of the technology in the late 2000s, and its use of 3D enhances the fantastical elements of the film. The 3D effects are not used in a gimmicky or superficial way, but rather to deepen the viewer's immersion in the world of Wonderland. The depth provided by the 3D technology allows the fantastical creatures and landscapes to feel more real and tangible, as if they are popping out of the screen and into the viewer's own space. This is especially effective in scenes where Alice encounters strange, oversized creatures, creating a sense of scale and wonder that heightens the fantastical nature of the film. In terms of box office performance, Alice in Wonderland was a resounding success, both commercially and critically. Upon its release, the film grossed over $1 billion worldwide, making it one of the highest-grossing films of all time. Its success can be attributed to a combination of factors, including the star power of Tim Burton, the appeal of Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, and the innovative use of 3D technology. The film's success was also driven by the widespread appeal of its visual spectacle, which drew in audiences of all ages. The combination of fantasy, adventure, and whimsy, along with the strong performances from the cast, ensured that Alice in Wonderland became a beloved modern adaptation of the classic tale. The film's impressive box office performance was also bolstered by its ability to tap into the cultural zeitgeist. Released in the wake of other successful fantasy films, such as the Harry Potter franchise, Alice in Wonderland capitalized on the growing popularity of epic, visually driven stories. The film's use of cutting-edge technology and its appeal to both children and adults made it a cultural phenomenon, cementing its place as a modern classic in the realm of fantasy cinema. Additionally, the film's stunning visual effects and 3D elements contributed to its massive box office success, attracting audiences eager to experience the film in theaters rather than at home. In conclusion, Alice in Wonderland, 2010, is a masterclass in filmmaking techniques, blending cutting-edge technology with traditional craftsmanship to create a visually stunning and emotionally immersive experience. The use of CGI, practical effects, sound design, and editing all work in tandem to create a world that feels alive and ever-changing, while also deepening the viewer's emotional connection to the story. The film's box office success reflects its ability to captivate audiences with its unique blend of fantasy, adventure, and visual spectacle, and it stands as a testament to the power of cinema to transport viewers to new and wondrous worlds. Alice in Wonderland, 2010, is a visually stunning journey into a fantastical world, brought to life by Tim Burton's unique blend of Gothic surrealism and whimsical charm. From its breathtaking cinematography and groundbreaking special effects to its deeply symbolic exploration of identity and self-discovery, the film offers a rich and immersive experience. The movie successfully marries Burton's distinct artistic vision with the vibrant, surreal landscape of Lewis Carroll's original work, while introducing new characters, themes, and twists that provide a fresh take on the timeless tale. Throughout our deep dive into the film, we explored various aspects of the movie's production and themes. We began by looking at the characters and how they each embody key thematic elements of the story. Alice, portrayed by Wasikowska, stands as a young woman torn between the constraints of her real world and the adventure that beckons in the realm of Wonderland. Her evolution throughout the film, from a confused, reluctant girl to a confident, empowered heroine, serves as the backbone of the story. The Mad Hatter, brought to life by Johnny Depp, remains one of the film's most iconic characters, with Depp's nuanced performance offering layers of emotion that enhance the quirky, fantastical nature of the film. One of the most striking aspects of the film is its seamless blend of live action and animation, a technique that pushed boundaries in 2010. To create the fantastical world of Wonderland, nearly 90% of the movie was shot against green screens. The sets were sparse, with only a few physical props for the actors to interact with, leaving the rest to the imagination of the post-production team. The process was so complex that it often left the cast performing in an empty room, reacting to spaces and characters that didn't exist yet. For Johnny Depp, who played the Mad Hatter, this required him to trust the vision of the filmmakers entirely. He described the experience as walking into madness every day, yet he thrived on the creative freedom it allowed. Helena Bonham Carter, who played the Red Queen, had her head digitally enlarged to 3 times its normal size in post-production, a visual exaggeration that perfectly matched her character's oversized ego. During filming, however, she wore a tight-fitting wig cap covered with tracking dots, which made her look comically absurd on set. Her co-stars reportedly couldn't keep a straight face while acting opposite her, leading to multiple takes ruined by laughter. Helena embraced the silliness, joking that she felt like a bobblehead throughout the shoot. Another fascinating tidbit involves Mia Wasikowska, who played Alice. As a relatively unknown actress at the time, Mia faced immense pressure stepping into the lead role of such an iconic story. To help her prepare, Burton encouraged her to immerse herself in the original books, even advising her to focus on Alice's contradictions, a girl who is simultaneously curious, polite, defiant, and courageous. Mia also underwent physical training to perform some of Alice's stunts, including sword fighting against the Jabberwocky. This rigorous preparation paid off, as Mia brought a grounded authenticity to Alice, balancing her dreamlike surroundings with a relatable humanity. The casting process itself was filled with interesting anecdotes. Anne Hathaway, who played the White Queen, initially turned down the role, feeling she had already portrayed too many fairy tale characters. However, she reconsidered after learning that Burton was directing, and brought a unique take to the character, blending ethereal grace with a hint of quirkiness inspired by silent film actresses. Her decision to make the White Queen's movements overly delicate, as though she were gliding on air, added a layer of comedic charm to her performance. Then there's the Cheshire Cat, whose smooth, mischievous voice was brought to life by Stephen Fry. To achieve the cat's iconic disappearing act, the filmmakers experimented with different ways of making his body fade away. They ultimately settled on a method that began with his smile, a nod to the original illustrations by John Tenniel. Interestingly, Fry recorded many of his lines in isolation, without interacting with the other cast members. Despite this, his performance melded seamlessly with the ensemble, showcasing the magic of post-production. Tim Burton's vision for Alice in Wonderland was deeply rooted in his personal interpretation of the story. Unlike previous adaptations, which leaned heavily on whimsy, Burton wanted to explore the darker, more introspective aspects of the narrative. He saw Alice's return to Underland as a metaphor for confronting unresolved issues from her past. This thematic depth influenced everything from the script to the visual design. The twisted trees, looming mushrooms, and moody skies of Underland reflect Alice's emotional state, creating an atmosphere that feels both fantastical and unsettling. One of the most unusual occurrences during production involved the Bandersnatch. The creature, entirely computer-generated, required the actors to react to an invisible, imaginary beast. To aid them, the crew built a life-sized Bandersnatch head, which they would roll onto the set whenever it was needed. This makeshift prop became a source of humor, as it looked more like a giant, furry football than a menacing creature. Cast members often posed with it between takes, and photos of the Bandersnatch head quickly became a beloved keepsake among the crew. The film's score, composed by Danny Elfman, is another standout element. Elfman collaborated closely with Burton to create music that captured the film's shifting tones, from moments of whimsy and wonder to scenes of danger and intensity. One of the most interesting facts about the score is that Elfman wrote a choral piece in an invented language for the scene where Alice enters Underland. This hauntingly beautiful track added an otherworldly quality to the moment, making it feel as though Alice had truly stepped into another dimension. The production also faced its fair share of challenges. One notable difficulty was designing the Red Queen's court. Burton envisioned a set that felt claustrophobic and oppressive, reflecting the Queen's authoritarian rule. However, constructing such a set within the constraints of green-screen filming proved tricky. The art department spent weeks experimenting with different designs, ultimately creating a small, physical throne room surrounded by digital extensions. The result is a visually stunning space that captures the Queen's over-the-top personality while maintaining the surreal aesthetic of the film. The costumes, designed by Colleen Atwood, are another fascinating aspect of the production. Atwood's designs were heavily influenced by Victorian fashion, but she added her own fantastical twists, such as exaggerated silhouettes and intricate patterns. Alice's iconic blue dress, for example, was made to appear both familiar and otherworldly. Atwood even created multiple versions of the dress to reflect Alice's changing size throughout the story. For the Red Queen, Atwood combined regal opulence with cartoonish absurdity, using heart motifs and bold colors to emphasize her vanity. One of the film's most enduring trivia pieces involves the White Rabbit's pocket watch. The prop was meticulously crafted to include tiny, functioning gears and intricate details, even though it appears on screen for only a few seconds. The watch became a favorite among the crew, with many joking that it deserved its own credit in the film. Another little-known detail is that Burton drew inspiration from early surrealist films for some of the visual effects. He studied the works of filmmakers like Georges Méliès and Louis Buñuel, incorporating their dreamlike aesthetics into scenes like Alice's fall down the rabbit hole. This homage to cinema history adds a layer of depth to the film's artistry, connecting it to a tradition of experimental storytelling. The film's reception was as dynamic as its production. While it divided critics, audiences were captivated by its bold visual style and imaginative storytelling. It went on to gross over $1 billion worldwide, making it one of the highest-grossing films of 2010. Despite the mixed reviews, Alice in Wonderland left an indelible mark on popular culture, inspiring countless adaptations, merchandise, and even theme park attractions. The making of Alice in Wonderland is a testament to the creativity, collaboration, and occasional chaos that defines ambitious filmmaking. From the innovative use of green screen to the quirky anecdotes that unfolded on set, every aspect of the production reflects the boundless imagination of Tim Burton and his team. The World of Alice in Wonderland, 2010, is one that invites both awe and scrutiny, a reimagining of Lewis Carroll's classic that balances whimsy with a darker edge. Examining the significant events of the film from a critical perspective reveals layers of meaning woven into its narrative, visuals, and characters, as well as the impact these elements have had on its audience and critics alike. While some praised the bold approach to storytelling, others critiqued its execution, leading to a mixed reception that continues to spark debates. One of the film's most pivotal events is Alice's fall down the rabbit hole, an iconic moment that marks her transition from the mundane reality of Victorian England to the fantastical world of Wonderland. Unlike the playful depiction in earlier adaptations, Tim Burton's version presents this scene with an almost unsettling undertone. The spiraling descent, enhanced by Danny Elfman's haunting score, creates a sense of disorientation, setting the tone for Alice's journey of self-discovery. Critics have noted that this sequence is emblematic of the film's broader themes, leaving behind the constraints of societal expectations to embrace the chaos of individuality. For some viewers, the darker atmosphere added depth to the familiar story, while others felt it strayed too far from the original's light-hearted charm. The tea party with the Mad Hatter and his eccentric companions is another event that stands out, both for its visual spectacle and its narrative significance. This scene is a microcosm of the film's approach to blending absurdity with deeper meaning. Johnny Depp's portrayal of the Mad Hatter is layered with vulnerability, his erratic behavior hinting at a traumatic past tied to the Red Queen's tyranny. The tea party becomes a moment of connection for Alice and the Hatter, underscoring one of the film's central messages: finding allies in unexpected places. Critics were divided on Depp's performance, with some lauding his ability to inject emotional nuance into the character, while others felt his eccentricity overshadowed the narrative. The climactic battle against the Jabberwocky is perhaps the film's most visually arresting and thematically loaded sequence. Alice, donning armor and wielding the Vorpal sword, steps into the role of a warrior, a stark departure from her initial portrayal as a hesitant and passive young woman. This transformation aligns with the film's overarching theme of self-empowerment. By facing the Jabberwocky, Alice confronts not only a literal monster but also the metaphorical fears and doubts that have plagued her throughout her journey. Critics have pointed out that this scene serves as a modern feminist reinterpretation of Alice's character, empowering her to take control of her destiny rather than merely reacting to the whims of those around her. However, some argued that the battle felt out of place in a story traditionally rooted in whimsy and intellect rather than physical confrontation. The relationship between the Red Queen and the White Queen adds another layer of complexity to the film's narrative. These sisters represent opposing forces, with the Red Queen embodying tyranny and excess, while the White Queen symbolizes grace and restraint. Their interactions, though often tinged with humor, reflect a deeper commentary on the balance of power. Critics have noted that the exaggerated characterizations of the sisters mirror Alice's internal struggle to reconcile her own conflicting desires and responsibilities. While some viewers appreciated this dynamic as a clever allegory, others found it overly simplistic, reducing the queens to caricatures rather than fully realized characters. A recurring motif throughout the film is the question of identity, exemplified in Alice's interactions with the inhabitants of Wonderland. From the caterpillar's cryptic inquiries of "Who are you?" to the Cheshire Cat's enigmatic guidance, these encounters force Alice to confront her own sense of self. Critics have praised the film for using these moments to explore the universal theme of self-discovery, making Alice's journey relatable to audiences of all ages. However, some felt that the script's heavy reliance on dialogue to convey these ideas occasionally veered into didactic territory, undermining the emotional impact. The visual design of Wonderland plays a crucial role in shaping the film's impact. Tim Burton's signature aesthetic, marked by twisted landscapes, vibrant colors, and surreal architecture, imbues the world with a dreamlike quality. Each setting, from the gloomy forests to the Red Queen's imposing castle, reflects the emotional tone of the story at that point. Critics have lauded the film's art direction as a triumph of imagination, creating a world that feels both familiar and alien. Yet, there were those who argued that the overwhelming visual effects sometimes detracted from the narrative, making the film feel more like a spectacle than a cohesive story. The film's emotional resonance lies in its ability to connect with audiences on a personal level. Alice's journey is not just a fantastical adventure, but a metaphor for overcoming fear and embracing change. Her return to the real world at the end, where she confidently rejects societal expectations and embarks on a new path, is a moment of triumph that resonated with many viewers. Critics have pointed out that this ending reframes Alice's story as one of empowerment, offering a modern reinterpretation that aligns with contemporary values. However, some felt that this departure from the source material sacrificed the whimsy and ambiguity that made the original story so enduring. Another significant aspect of the film's reception is its commentary on societal norms and expectations. The opening scenes, which depict Alice's stifling life in Victorian society, serve as a stark contrast to the freedom and creativity of Wonderland. This juxtaposition highlights the restrictive nature of traditional gender roles, making Alice's rebellion against them all the more impactful. Critics have noted that the film's feminist undertones are both a strength and a point of contention, with some praising its progressive message while others questioned whether it overstepped the boundaries of the original narrative. The film's use of humor, particularly through characters like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, provided moments of levity amidst the darker themes. These comedic interludes, while divisive among critics, were often praised for their ability to balance the film's tone. However, some argued that the humor occasionally felt out of sync with the story's emotional weight, creating a tonal inconsistency that detracted from the overall experience. The critical response to Alice in Wonderland was as varied as the events of the film itself. While some celebrated its bold reimagining of a classic tale, others lamented the deviations from the source material. The film's impact, however, cannot be denied. It sparked conversations about the nature of adaptation, the role of visual effects in storytelling, and the evolving portrayal of female protagonists in cinema. By daring to reimagine a beloved story through a modern lens, Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland left a lasting mark on both the fantasy genre and the broader landscape of film. The making of Alice in Wonderland, 2010, was as magical and intricate as the fantastical world it brought to life on screen. With Tim Burton at the helm, the production was an ambitious blend of cutting-edge technology, meticulous craftsmanship, and a creative vision that sought to reimagine a timeless story for a modern audience. The journey from concept to completion was filled with fascinating moments, challenges, and unexpected discoveries that shaped the film into the masterpiece it became. One of the most remarkable aspects of the production was the innovative use of technology. The film was shot using a combination of live-action performances, green screen environments, and computer-generated imagery, CGI. This hybrid approach allowed Burton to craft a world that felt both real and surreal, blending the actors' performances with digitally created landscapes and characters. To achieve this, The actors performed on minimal sets surrounded by green screens, a process that required immense imagination and adaptability. And Hathaway, who played the White Queen, once joked in an interview that she had to envision her castle, her subjects, and even her throne while staring at an empty green expanse. The character design for the film was a monumental task that involved dozens of artists and designers. Burton's unique aesthetic heavily influenced the look of Wonderland and its inhabitants. The Red Queen's oversized head, for instance, was achieved through a combination of Helena Bonham Carter's performance and digital manipulation, creating a striking visual effect that became one of the film's most iconic images. Similarly, the Cheshire Cat's mischievous grin was meticulously animated to ensure it captured the character's enigmatic charm. Behind the scenes, the animators worked tirelessly to bring these designs to life, often drawing inspiration from Burton's sketches and Carroll's original illustrations. The casting process also played a pivotal role in shaping the film. Johnny Depp's portrayal of the Mad Hatter was a result of his close collaboration with Burton. The two had worked together on multiple projects before, and their creative synergy was evident in the Hatter's complex characterization. Depp infused the character with a mix of whimsy and vulnerability, drawing from his own experiences to portray the Hatter's fractured psyche. According to Burton, Depp's commitment to the role went beyond the script. He delved into the character's backstory, creating an intricate personal history that informed his performance. Mia Wasikowska, who played Alice, faced her own set of challenges. At the time, she was relatively unknown in Hollywood, and stepping into such an iconic role was no small feat. Her performance required a delicate balance of innocence, determination, and curiosity. Behind the scenes, Burton encouraged her to bring a sense of modernity to Alice, making her relatable to contemporary audiences. In interviews, Wasikowska shared that she drew inspiration from her own experiences of feeling out of place and finding her way in new environments, which mirrored Alice's journey in the film. The production design for Alice in Wonderland was a marvel in itself. Despite relying heavily on CGI, the filmmakers also incorporated practical effects and real-world elements to ground the fantastical visuals. For instance, the Tea Party set was constructed with oversized props to create a whimsical yet tangible atmosphere. The attention to detail extended to the costumes as well, with designer Colleen Atwood crafting outfits that reflected each character's personality and role in the story. The Mad Hatter's eclectic wardrobe, complete with mismatched patterns and vibrant colors, was a testament to Atwood's ingenuity and Burton's vision. One of the most surprising challenges during production was the weather. Although much of the film was created digitally, certain scenes were filmed on location to capture natural elements. The crew faced unpredictable conditions, from sudden rainstorms to intense heat, which tested their resilience and creativity. Despite these hurdles, the team persevered, often improvising to keep the shoot on schedule. These moments of spontaneity sometimes led to unexpected creative breakthroughs, adding depth and texture to the final product. The film's score, composed by Danny Elfman, was another cornerstone of the production. Elfman's collaboration with Burton is legendary, and his music for Alice in Wonderland was no exception. The hauntingly beautiful score blended orchestral arrangements with whimsical motifs, perfectly complementing the film's tone. Behind the scenes, Elfman worked closely with Burton to ensure the music resonated with the emotional beats of the story. The process involved countless hours of recording, editing, and fine-tuning, resulting in a soundtrack that became an integral part of the film's identity. Fun facts and anecdotes from the set abound, offering a glimpse into the camaraderie and creativity that defined the production. For example, Helena Bonham Carter revealed that she had to endure hours in the makeup chair each day to achieve the Red Queen's striking look. Despite the discomfort, she often entertained the crew by staying in character between takes, delivering hilariously imperious commands in her Red Queen voice. Similarly, Johnny Depp's improvisations as the Mad Hatter kept everyone on their toes, with the actor often adding unexpected flourishes to his scenes. Another fascinating tidbit involves the iconic line, "Off with their heads." While this catchphrase is central to the Red Queen's character, Bonham Carter shared in interviews that she experimented with different vocal inflections to make it both menacing and absurdly funny. The final result was a delivery that perfectly captured the character's larger-than-life personality. The film's release was met with both critical acclaim and commercial success, but the journey to get there was far from easy. Burton's vision for Alice in Wonderland was ambitious, and bringing it to life required the collaboration of hundreds of talented individuals. From animators and costume designers to sound engineers and visual effects artists, each person contributed their expertise to create a cohesive and enchanting world. The challenges they faced, whether technical, logistical, or creative, only strengthened their determination to deliver a film that honored Carol's legacy while offering something fresh and original. Reflecting on the production of Alice in Wonderland, it's clear that the film's success was a testament to the power of imagination and teamwork. The behind-the-scenes stories and fun facts reveal a production filled with passion, innovation, and a touch of madness, fitting for a tale set in a land where nothing is quite as it seems. For those who worked on the film, it was not just a job but a labor of love, an opportunity to push the boundaries of storytelling and visual artistry. The settings of Alice in Wonderland, 2010, are a kaleidoscope of surreal landscapes, whimsical architecture, and vibrant colors, perfectly capturing the essence of a dreamlike world. Under Tim Burton's visionary direction, the film's settings became a character in themselves, integral to the narrative and atmosphere. Each location, from the peculiar halls of Wonderland to the eerie darkness of the Red Queen's court, was meticulously crafted to transport the audience into a realm where reality bends and imagination reigns supreme. The journey begins in the real world, where young Alice first catches glimpses of her strange destiny. The Victorian-era settings in these early scenes are grounded in stark contrast to the fantastical realm she later encounters. Filmed with muted tones and a sense of rigidity, these moments are deliberately restrained, reflecting Alice's feelings of confinement and the societal expectations pressing down on her. The garden party where Alice's engagement proposal occurs is lavish yet stifling, highlighting the disconnect between her inner world and the societal roles imposed upon her. This stark introduction makes the transition to Wonderland all the more dramatic and captivating. Once Alice tumbles down the rabbit hole, the visual tone shifts dramatically. The initial descent itself is an exhilarating sequence, with spinning furniture, floating teacups, and fragmented mirrors. These surreal visuals establish the chaotic and unpredictable nature of Wonderland, priming viewers for the wonder and madness that lie ahead. The rabbit hole acts as a metaphorical gateway, not only to a new world but to Alice's self-discovery and empowerment. Wonderland is an imaginative reimagining of the classic Wonderland. Burton's version retains the whimsicality of Lewis Carroll's creation while infusing it with a darker, more gothic aesthetic. The sprawling landscapes are both beautiful and unsettling, reflecting the duality of this world, a place of enchantment and danger. The Mushroom Forest, for example, is an iconic location where Alice's size shifts emphasize her displacement and the peculiarities of Wonderland. The oversized mushrooms and glowing flora create a dreamlike quality, amplified by the play of light and shadow that gives the scene an otherworldly atmosphere. One of the most striking settings is the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. The long, mismatched table laden with peculiar teapots, chipped cups, and endless plates of sweets is as chaotic as the Hatter himself. The setting exudes warmth and whimsy while hinting at the melancholy of a world turned upside down. Burton used real props for this set, ensuring the actors could interact naturally with their surroundings, grounding the fantastical in a sense of tactile reality. The overgrown vines and tilted chairs further enhance the feeling of a world that has aged and decayed, adding a layer of poignancy to the Hatter's eccentricity. The Red Queen's castle, by contrast, is a stark and intimidating domain. With its deep crimson hues, angular architecture, and an abundance of heart motifs, the setting reflects the Queen's overbearing personality and obsession with power. The castle's design was intentionally exaggerated, with oversized furnishings to mirror the Red Queen's inflated sense of self. Helena Bonham Carter's diminutive stature, juxtaposed with these grandiose elements, creates a visual irony that underscores the absurdity of her tyranny. The courtyard, with its stone soldiers and moat filled with dangerous creatures, serves as a foreboding reminder of the Queen's ruthlessness. In stark opposition is the White Queen's domain, a serene and ethereal setting that embodies grace and purity. The castle's design, bathed in soft whites and silvers, exudes calmness and hope. The minimalistic decor and flowing fabrics emphasize the White Queen's gentle nature, creating a stark contrast to her sister's oppressive court. The settings of the two queens not only enhance their characters but also visually depict the thematic struggle between chaos and order, darkness and light. The climactic battle takes place on a chessboard-like battlefield, a brilliant visual metaphor for the strategic and high-stakes confrontation between the Red and White Queens. The stark black and white design of the battlefield underscores the dichotomy of the conflict while serving as a reminder of Alice's role as the pawn-turned-champion. The cinematography here is dynamic, with sweeping shots and tight close-ups capturing the tension and drama of the showdown. Cinematography and visual effects play a pivotal role in bringing these settings to life. Burton's collaboration with cinematographer Dariusz Wolski resulted in a film that is both visually stunning and emotionally resonant. Wolski used a combination of wide-angle shots and close-ups to immerse viewers in the fantastical world while maintaining an intimate connection with the characters. The interplay of light and shadow was particularly crucial in setting the mood, with vibrant colors dominating scenes of wonder and muted tones enhancing moments of peril. The film's use of CGI was groundbreaking, with every frame carefully crafted to enhance the story. The seamless integration of live-action performances with digital environments created a cohesive and immersive experience. For example, the Bandersnatch and Jabberwocky were entirely CGI creations, yet their presence felt tangible due to the detailed textures and realistic movements. The animators worked closely with Burton to ensure these creatures embodied the right balance of menace and charm. Color grading was another essential tool in shaping the film's tone. The muted palette of the real world contrasted sharply with the saturated hues of Wonderland, visually emphasizing Alice's transition into a place of limitless possibilities. Within Wonderland itself, the colors shift to reflect the emotional stakes of each scene. Warm, golden tones dominate scenes of camaraderie and hope, while cooler, darker shades heighten moments of suspense and danger. Sound design and music also played integral roles in enhancing the settings and atmosphere. Danny Elfman's score, with its haunting melodies and whimsical flourishes, provided an auditory anchor that tied the visual elements together. Each location was paired with a distinct musical motif, from the playful tones of the Mad Hatter's Tea Party to the ominous crescendos of the Red Queen's castle. The Making of Alice in Wonderland, 2010, was as fantastical and layered as the story itself, filled with creativity, unexpected challenges, and a touch of madness that brought the magic of Wonderland to life. Behind the scenes, the film was a whirlwind of innovation, camaraderie, and determination, with Tim Burton steering the ship in his signature style. The cast and crew, working against the challenges of blending live action with cutting-edge CGI, found themselves immersed in a world where imagination knew no bounds. One of the most surprising aspects of the production was how much of the film was shot in front of green screens. While the final product is a dazzling tapestry of vibrant landscapes and intricate sets, much of the actual filming took place on relatively bare stages. The actors had to perform their scenes surrounded by minimal props, with Burton's vivid descriptions guiding their imagination. This required a tremendous amount of trust and creativity from the cast. Johnny Depp, who played the Mad Hatter, described the experience as acting in the middle of an emerald void, where he had to conjure his character's madness and heart without the usual environmental cues. Depp and Mia Wasikowska, who played Alice, shared a unique bond on set, often encouraging each other during challenging scenes. Their camaraderie was evident in moments of improvisation, particularly during the Mad Hatter's Tea Party scenes. Depp, known for his commitment to his roles, often stayed in character between takes, delighting the crew with his quirky antics. Meanwhile, Wasikowska approached her role with a quiet intensity, balancing Alice's vulnerability with her growing confidence. The contrast between Depp's unpredictable energy and Wasikowska's grounded performance created a dynamic that translated beautifully on screen. Helena Bonham Carter, portraying the over-the-top Red Queen, brought her own flavor of mischief to the set. To achieve her character's exaggerated head, Bonham Carter wore a cap that marked the space her digitally enlarged head would occupy. This led to countless jokes among the cast, who couldn't resist poking fun at her temporary appearance. Carter, with her trademark wit, took it all in stride, even playing along with the humor. She often referred to herself as the bobblehead queen during production, lightening the mood during long hours of filming. And Hathaway, who played the ethereal White Queen, was fascinated by the stark contrast between her character and Bonham Carter's. Off-screen, Hathaway and Carter enjoyed a playful rivalry, often joking about their opposing queenly philosophies. Hathaway's serene demeanor as the White Queen was inspired by a combination of Greta Garbo and Nigella Lawson, lending her character a blend of old Hollywood glamour and domestic warmth. Her scenes often required her to move with exaggerated grace, which led to moments of hilarity when things didn't go as planned. There's a particularly amusing behind-the-scenes clip of Hathaway attempting to float across the set, only to trip over her flowing gown, prompting a round of laughter from the crew. The Jabberwocky battle was one of the film's most ambitious sequences and posed significant challenges for both the actors and the technical team. Christopher Lee provided the chilling voice of the Jabberwocky, but the creature itself was a fully CGI creation. To help Mia Wasikowska visualize her opponent during the climactic battle, the crew used a large green pole as a stand-in for the Jabberwocky's head. Wasikowska later joked that fighting a pole required as much imagination as being Alice herself. Burton, ever the perfectionist, meticulously guided her through the scene, ensuring every swing of her sword matched the Jabberwocky's eventual movements. The production's heavy reliance on CGI also presented logistical hurdles. Nearly every frame of the film involved digital enhancements, requiring close collaboration between the live-action crew and the visual effects team. Tim Burton worked closely with the designers to ensure the film maintained his distinct visual style. From the swirling patterns of the mushroom forest to the intricate details of the Red Queen's castle, every element was carefully crafted to reflect the story's whimsical yet dark undertones. One particularly memorable behind-the-scenes moment occurred during the filming of the tea party scene. The table, laden with teapots, pastries, and mismatched cups, was an actual set piece, allowing the actors to interact with real props. However, the chaotic energy of the scene led to several mishaps, including shattered teacups and spilled tea. Depp, ever the improviser, turned these accidents into part of his performance, earning genuine laughter from the crew. Burton loved the unplanned moments, often incorporating them into the final cut. The relationship between Tim Burton and his longtime collaborator Danny Elfman was another cornerstone of the production. Elfman's hauntingly beautiful score added depth to the film's visuals, and his process was as immersive as Burton's. The two often discussed scenes in detail, with Elfman composing music that mirrored the emotional beats of the story. The iconic Alice's theme became a central piece, capturing the essence of Alice's journey with its blend of whimsy and melancholy. The film's costume design was another labor of love, led by Colleen Atwood, a frequent Burton collaborator. Each character's outfit was meticulously crafted to reflect their personality and role in the story. Depp's Mad Hatter costume, with its mismatched patterns and oversized hat, was a particular standout. The design included subtle details, such as the Hatter's thread belt, symbolizing his background as a hat maker. Atwood worked closely with the actors to ensure their costumes allowed for both performance and comfort, a challenging feat given the elaborate designs. One of the most surprising aspects of the production was the inclusion of Alice's real-world backstory, a narrative thread that added depth to her character. These scenes were shot in historical locations in England, providing a stark contrast to the vibrant chaos of Wonderland. The juxtaposition of the two worlds emphasized Alice's journey of self-discovery, a theme Burton was keen to explore. Despite the challenges, the cast and crew maintained a sense of humor throughout the production. The demanding schedule and technical complexities could have been overwhelming, but Burton's leadership and the camaraderie among the team created a supportive environment. Crew members often shared stories of late-night brainstorming sessions and impromptu dance breaks on set, moments that reminded everyone of the joy in creating such a fantastical project. The film's release was met with a mix of anticipation and skepticism, given the legacy of Lewis Carroll's original story. However, the hard work and passion poured into the production paid off. Alice in Wonderland became a box office sensation, grossing over $1 billion worldwide and earning praise for its bold visual style and imaginative storytelling. The behind-the-scenes efforts, from the smallest costume detail to the grandest CGI spectacle, were instrumental in creating a film that transported audiences to a world where the impossible felt real. Looking back, the making of Alice in Wonderland was as much an adventure as the story itself. The blend of technical innovation, artistic vision, and heartfelt performances brought a timeless tale to life in a way that continues to captivate audiences. The memories of tea spills, green screen battles, and playful banter among the cast remain as cherished as the film they helped create, a testament to the magic of collaboration and creativity. Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, 2010, is a visually stunning, whimsical adaptation of Lewis Carroll's classic tale, but beneath its fantastical surface lies a complex exploration of identity, growth, rebellion, and the struggle for personal freedom. As Alice navigates her way through the curious land of Wonderland, she confronts both external and internal challenges that serve to shape her sense of self. The film is an intricate blend of fantasy and symbolism, with deeper meanings embedded in its characters, setting, and events. Themes of self-discovery, the conflict between order and chaos, and the cyclical nature of life are explored with a distinct Burtonesque flair, intertwining fantasy with existential reflection. At the heart of the film lies Alice's journey of self-realization. Initially, Alice is unsure of who she is, dismissing her previous encounter with Wonderland as a mere dream. However, as the narrative unfolds, the audience learns that the world Alice experiences is more than a fantasy. It is a place of personal revelation and transformation. The theme of identity is explored through Alice's evolving relationship with the world around her, most notably with the various characters she encounters. The Mad Hatter's repeated question to Alice, "Why is a raven like a writing desk?" is symbolic of the search for meaning, a question that Alice herself grapples with as she struggles to reconcile her place in the world with the expectations placed upon her by others. This exploration of identity is mirrored in the contrasting depictions of Alice and her doppelganger, the Red Queen. The Red Queen, with her distorted features and her obsession with control, embodies a corrupted version of power. Her reign is one of fear, and her desperate need for order and dominance serves as a stark contrast to Alice's evolving sense of individuality. The Queen's oversized head, which dominates her appearance, symbolizes her inflated ego and her inability to see beyond her own desires. This physical attribute becomes a visual metaphor for her inner turmoil, representing how unchecked power and a rigid sense of identity can distort reality and prevent personal growth. Alice's ultimate triumph over the Red Queen is not just a victory for the underdog, but a victory for the authentic self, representing the importance of embracing who you are, no matter how strange or different that may seem. In contrast, the White Queen, Alice's other potential counterpart, symbolizes purity, grace, and compassion. Yet, her kingdom is one of fragility, where beauty and serenity are a facade that cannot prevent the chaos lurking beneath the surface. The White Queen's gentle and passive nature provides a counterpoint to the Red Queen's aggression, but it also serves to highlight the limitations of a life lived in pursuit of perfect harmony. In Alice's journey, these two queens represent opposing forces that influence her understanding of self. Through her encounters with them, Alice is able to break free from societal pressures and find her own path, one that combines elements of both control and chaos. Symbolism also plays a key role in the film, where almost every element carries deeper meaning. The most obvious symbol is Alice herself, who, through her interactions with the bizarre creatures of Wonderland, becomes the embodiment of personal growth and transformation. Alice is both a child and an adult, a figure caught between the innocence of youth and the wisdom of experience. She faces the daunting task of making choices that reflect who she truly is, symbolizing the universal challenge of self-discovery. Her decision to choose her own destiny is the culmination of her journey, representing the power of self-determination and the refusal to conform to the constraints imposed by others. The caterpillar, played by the enigmatic voice of Alan Rickman, serves as another powerful symbol of transformation and personal evolution. His repeated questioning of Alice, "Who are you?" encourages her to look within herself and embrace the change she is undergoing. The caterpillar's eventual metamorphosis into a butterfly symbolizes Alice's own transformation, both physically and mentally, as she moves from a passive observer of her life to an active participant in shaping her future. His advice is cryptic yet essential. You'll see it as you believe it. This highlights the theme of perception versus reality, and how belief shapes one's experiences. The Cheshire Cat is another figure rich with symbolic meaning. As a creature who can appear and disappear at will, the Cheshire Cat represents the fluidity of truth and the elusive nature of wisdom. The cat's cryptic remarks, particularly his assertion that everyone in Wonderland is mad, underscore the theme of madness that runs throughout the film. This madness is not a sign of insanity, but rather a metaphor for the freedom of thinking outside the conventional norms of society. The Cheshire Cat, unlike the other characters, is fully aware of the subjective nature of reality, embracing the chaos around him as a natural part of existence. In this way, he represents the freedom that comes with embracing madness as a form of liberation. Another powerful symbol in the film is the Jabberwocky, a terrifying dragon-like creature whose defeat becomes a crucial part of Alice's journey. The Jabberwocky is a manifestation of fear and self-doubt, a creature that only Alice has the strength to face. It represents the challenges and obstacles that stand in the way of personal growth, and Alice's victory over it symbolizes her triumph over her own internal fears. The Jabberwocky's defeat is a moment of catharsis, where Alice fully embraces her destiny as a leader, a warrior, and an individual capable of shaping her own fate. The symbolic use of the landscape also plays a critical role in reinforcing the film's themes. The world of Wonderland is a surreal landscape that fluctuates between dreamlike beauty and nightmarish horror. The land itself reflects Alice's state of mind, shifting, unstable, and unpredictable. The brightly colored forests, the shifting seas of tea, and the ever-changing terrain all serve as metaphors for the fluidity of Alice's journey and the internal conflict she faces. The contrasting environments, from the gleaming palace of the White Queen to the jagged, oppressive castle of the Red Queen, reinforce the idea that there is no one path for Alice to follow, no singular definition of who she is or should be. The theme of rebellion also plays a significant role in the film. Alice's rebellion is not just against the oppressive Red Queen, but also against the societal norms that seek to dictate her role as a woman. The film subtly critiques the expectations placed on Alice, as she is constantly told by the adults in her life to act according to tradition and behave in a certain way. However, Alice's defiance of these norms is what leads her to discover her true self. In this way, her journey becomes symbolic of the broader struggle for independence and the desire to forge one's own identity. She represents a modern take on the archetypal hero, someone who challenges the rules in order to create a new reality. These themes are not merely confined to the plot. They are woven into the very fabric of the film's visual style and characters. Each of Alice's interactions with the inhabitants of Wonderland reflects a different aspect of her inner journey, allowing the audience to witness her growth firsthand. From her initial hesitations to her final, resolute decision to slay the Jabberwocky, every moment in the film is a step toward self-discovery and empowerment. The plot, characters, and visual elements are all carefully crafted to reinforce the overarching themes of personal growth, freedom, and the importance of remaining true to oneself, no matter the cost. In the end, Alice in Wonderland, 2010, is not just a whimsical adventure. It is a deeply symbolic tale about the journey of self-realization, the acceptance of change, and the breaking free from societal constraints. Through its rich symbolism, memorable characters, and themes of rebellion and identity, the film captures the essence of what it means to forge one's own path, embrace the unknown, and be true to who you are. In Alice's final moments, when she steps into her destiny and makes her own choices, the film offers a message of empowerment that resonates far beyond the screen. In Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, 2010, the director employs an array of filmmaking techniques to craft a visually stunning and emotionally immersive experience. From the use of vibrant colors to the groundbreaking digital effects, the film's unique atmosphere is not only a reflection of Burton's distinct artistic vision but also a testament to the technical prowess behind its creation. The film's use of cutting-edge technology, practical effects, and sound design work in tandem to create a world that feels both fantastical and believable, capturing the spirit of Lewis Carroll's original works while pushing the boundaries of modern filmmaking. The visual style of the film is one of its most striking features. Burton's signature blend of dark, gothic elements with whimsical, surreal visuals provides an unforgettable atmosphere that transports the viewer into a world that is strange yet captivating. The production design plays a crucial role in setting the tone of Alice in Wonderland, combining lush, fantastical landscapes with an undercurrent of eerie darkness. The design of the locations, from the vibrant colors of the garden to the bleak, war-torn lands ruled by the Red Queen, creates a vivid contrast that enhances the emotional stakes of the story. Burton, known for his love of exaggerated proportions and quirky designs, uses these visual elements to create a sense of wonder and tension, guiding the viewer through a world where anything seems possible, yet nothing can be fully trusted. A major technique employed by the filmmakers is the use of CGI and motion capture technology. Much of Alice in Wonderland was shot using these tools, which allowed for the creation of fantastical creatures and surreal landscapes that would have been impossible to achieve with traditional practical effects alone. The visual effects were developed by the renowned studio The Moving Picture Company, MPC, which worked tirelessly to bring Burton's wild imagination to life. The character of the Mad Hatter, played by Johnny Depp, is a prime example of how CGI was used to enhance the performance. Depp's expressive facial features were captured through motion capture technology, and the character's larger-than-life eyes and outlandish expressions were then enhanced by digital effects. The results are a character who feels simultaneously exaggerated and oddly relatable, a testament to the power of blending live-action performance with digital manipulation. Similarly, the Queen's Palace, with its towering walls, surreal architecture, and exaggerated proportions, was created using a combination of green screen technology and CGI. The Red Queen's enormous head, a central element of her character design, was digitally enhanced to give the illusion of her physical dominance. Through the use of these techniques, the filmmakers were able to create a world that feels both alien and familiar, pushing the limits of what audiences could expect from a fantasy film. Despite the heavy reliance on digital effects, Alice in Wonderland also made use of traditional filmmaking techniques, particularly in its practical effects and sets. Many of the locations were built as full-scale sets, such as the elaborate tea party scene, which was filmed on a massive soundstage. The use of these physical sets allowed the filmmakers to create a tactile, tangible environment for the actors to interact with, giving their performances a sense of authenticity that digital effects alone could not achieve. The vibrant, whimsical nature of these sets, combined with the larger-than-life character designs, serves as a visual representation of Alice's own transformation as she moves through the dreamlike world of Wonderland. The world is constantly shifting, both in terms of its physicality and its emotional stakes, and the practical sets allow for a sense of immersion that enhances the viewer's emotional connection to the story. The sound design in Alice in Wonderland also plays a pivotal role in establishing the film's tone. The soundscape is both haunting and enchanting, with composer Danny Elfman's score providing a lush, atmospheric backdrop to the fantastical world of Wonderland. Elfman's music, which blends orchestral and electronic elements, creates an ethereal and otherworldly atmosphere that complements Burton's visual style. The music ebbs and flows, matching the emotional highs and lows of Alice's journey. The score often feels playful and whimsical, particularly in the more light-hearted moments of the film, but it can also shift dramatically to reflect the darker, more threatening aspects of the narrative. This duality in the score mirrors the film's themes of duality and transformation, reflecting Alice's internal struggle and her eventual self-discovery. In addition to Elfman's score, the sound design incorporates a rich array of atmospheric effects that help to immerse the viewer in the world of Wonderland. The sounds of the bustling streets, the creaking of the White Queen's palace, and the unsettling noises from the creatures of the forest all contribute to the sense of a living, breathing world that is both magical and slightly menacing. The sound design is often used to reflect the emotional undertones of the scenes, with subtle shifts in volume and intensity heightening the tension or emphasizing moments of wonder. The sound effects work in tandem with the visual elements to create a fully immersive experience, enhancing the audience's emotional connection to the story. Editing plays another critical role in shaping the viewer's experience of Alice in Wonderland. The film uses quick, fluid cuts to maintain the pace of the narrative and emphasize the surreal, fast-moving nature of the world Alice finds herself in. In particular, The transitions between scenes are often abrupt, reflecting the dreamlike quality of Alice's journey. The editing is used to heighten the sense of unpredictability and chaos in Wonderland, mirroring the disorienting and often nonsensical world that Alice is navigating. One of the most notable editing techniques in the film is the way in which the camera frequently shifts perspectives and points of view. This creates a sense of instability and confusion, drawing the viewer deeper into Alice's subjective experience. The use of Dutch angles, where the camera is tilted to create a skewed perspective, further emphasizes the disorienting and otherworldly nature of Wonderland. The pacing of the film is also influenced by the editing, with fast-paced action sequences juxtaposed with quieter, more introspective moments. This rhythm helps to balance the film's lighter, more whimsical scenes with the darker, more emotional moments, ensuring that the audience remains engaged throughout the film's runtime. The editing also allows for the seamless integration of visual effects with live-action shots, ensuring that the transitions between the two are smooth and natural. The result is a film that feels cohesive and immersive, with the technical aspects of filmmaking never overshadowing the emotional core of the story. One of the most striking elements of the film's cinematic techniques is the use of 3D technology, which was employed to create a more immersive and visually dynamic experience for the viewer. Alice in Wonderland was one of the first major films to be released in 3D after the resurgence of the technology in the late 2000s, and its use of 3D enhances the fantastical elements of the film. The 3D effects are not used in a gimmicky or superficial way, but rather to deepen the viewer's immersion in the world of Wonderland. The depth provided by the 3D technology allows the fantastical creatures and landscapes to feel more real and tangible, as if they are popping out of the screen and into the viewer's own space. This is especially effective in scenes where Alice encounters strange, oversized creatures, creating a sense of scale and wonder that heightens the fantastical nature of the film. In terms of box office performance, Alice in Wonderland was a resounding success, both commercially and critically. Upon its release, the film grossed over $1 billion worldwide, making it one of the highest-grossing films of all time. Its success can be attributed to a combination of factors, including the star power of Tim Burton, the appeal of Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, and the innovative use of 3D technology. The film's success was also driven by the widespread appeal of its visual spectacle, which drew in audiences of all ages. The combination of fantasy, adventure, and whimsy, along with the strong performances from the cast, ensured that Alice in Wonderland became a beloved modern adaptation of the classic tale. The film's impressive box office performance was also bolstered by its ability to tap into the cultural zeitgeist. Released in the wake of other successful fantasy films, such as the Harry Potter franchise, Alice in Wonderland capitalized on the growing popularity of epic, visually driven stories. The film's use of cutting-edge technology and its appeal to both children and adults made it a cultural phenomenon, cementing its place as a modern classic in the realm of fantasy cinema. Additionally, the film's stunning visual effects and 3D elements contributed to its massive box office success, attracting audiences eager to experience the film in theaters rather than at home. In conclusion, Alice in Wonderland, 2010, is a masterclass in filmmaking techniques, blending cutting-edge technology with traditional craftsmanship to create a visually stunning and emotionally immersive experience. The use of CGI, practical effects, sound design, and editing all work in tandem to create a world that feels alive and ever-changing, while also deepening the viewer's emotional connection to the story. The film's box office success reflects its ability to captivate audiences with its unique blend of fantasy, adventure, and visual spectacle, and it stands as a testament to the power of cinema to transport viewers to new and wondrous worlds. Alice in Wonderland, 2010, is a visually stunning journey into a fantastical world, brought to life by Tim Burton's unique blend of Gothic surrealism and whimsical charm. From its breathtaking cinematography and groundbreaking special effects to its deeply symbolic exploration of identity and self-discovery, the film offers a rich and immersive experience. The movie successfully marries Burton's distinct artistic vision with the vibrant, surreal landscape of Lewis Carroll's original work, while introducing new characters, themes, and twists that provide a fresh take on the timeless tale. Throughout our deep dive into the film, we explored various aspects of the movie's production and themes. We began by looking at the characters and how they each embody key thematic elements of the story. Alice, portrayed by Wasikowska, stands as a young woman torn between the constraints of her real world and the adventure that beckons in the realm of Wonderland. Her evolution throughout the film, from a confused, reluctant girl to a confident, empowered heroine, serves as the backbone of the story. The Mad Hatter, brought to life by Johnny Depp, remains one of the film's most iconic characters, with Depp's nuanced performance offering layers of emotion that enhance the quirky, fantastical nature of the film. The thematic exploration of self-discovery, freedom, and the nature of reality resonates deeply throughout the plot. Through Alice's journey, we see her gradually understanding that she does not need to conform to others' expectations. The film's visuals, including the exaggerated proportions of the characters and the dreamlike landscapes, mirror Alice's emotional and psychological transformation. The use of color, lighting, and the dreamlike qualities of Wonderland all contribute to the film's ability to draw viewers into its world and enhance the emotional stakes of Alice's journey. The groundbreaking techniques used in the production of Alice in Wonderland also played a crucial role in making it a standout film. The fusion of live-action and CGI created a sense of wonder and fluidity, allowing Burton to bring his whimsical and darkly atmospheric vision to life in a way that felt organic rather than artificial. The film's impressive use of 3D added depth and dimension to its fantastical elements, further immersing the audience in the world of Wonderland. Along with these technical achievements, the innovative use of motion capture and visual effects in creating characters like the Mad Hatter and the Red Queen were vital in transforming the narrative into something uniquely Burton-esque. The film's critical reception, while mixed in certain areas, reflects its complex balance between artistic vision and mainstream appeal. Audiences were drawn to the visual spectacle, while some critics took issue with its narrative pacing and character depth. Yet, the film's overall success at the box office, grossing over $1 billion, is a testament to its universal appeal. Its impact was not only felt in theaters but also in the cultural landscape, where its vivid interpretation of Wonderland found its place alongside other iconic fantasy films. In addition to the film's aesthetic achievements, the behind-the-scenes insights reveal a dedicated production process. The efforts of the cast and crew, combined with the challenges they faced, from creating realistic digital effects to maintaining a consistent tone throughout the production, contributed significantly to the film's success. Through their hard work and determination, they were able to bring Burton's imaginative world to life on screen in a way that felt both fantastical and emotionally grounded. Ultimately, Alice in Wonderland, 2010, stands as a cinematic triumph, offering a mix of visual splendor, thought-provoking themes, and memorable performances. It takes audiences on a fantastical journey filled with adventure, danger, and self-discovery. The use of advanced filmmaking techniques and the stellar performances by the cast come together to create a world that is both enchanting and strange, encouraging viewers to question reality and explore the boundaries of imagination. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into Alice in Wonderland, 2010, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more movie analysis, behind-the-scenes insights, and reviews. Join us as we continue to explore the magic, the stories, and the filmmaking craft behind some of your favorite films. Don't forget to leave a like if you appreciated this exploration, and let us know in the comments what you think of the film or if there's another movie you'd like us to dive into next. Until next time, keep exploring the world of cinema.